Thank you so much for coming. I do apologise that my PowerPoint is not up. I spent ages on that as well. Let's get sorted. Thank you, Rob, and everyone who was here this morning to see Rob. How fantastic was that? For those who missed it, I'll check him out because it's worth knowing. Just trying to sort myself out at the back before he drops off. So, for what Rob said, mine's an interesting one. I am a psychological coach and a trained psychologist and a therapist as well. What I'm here today to talk to you about really is non-verbal communication, because also part of my job, I'm in non-verbal communications. I call myself an expert, but classed as a specialist. Now, what that actually is I can read body language, I can read deception, and I can read micro-expressions. I can see what your feet are doing, what your hands are doing, what your eyes are doing, and I know why they're doing it. Now, how I got into that, you know when you said you want to sit at the front? You're gonna get out here. So, how I got into that. Interesting story, because there's two parts of my story really. First of all, many moons ago, I am 36, but you know, many moons ago I used to be an electrician. Now, it's going to be a quick brief on this here. I just wanted to give you a bit of inspiration, to be honest, because I always like to do this because it's part of my story I like to share, because I think people need to hear it as well. Because a lot of you new businesses, some of your businesses are already set up, and it's a struggle. As we was talking earlier, and what Rob was saying, it is a struggle, and it's hard work every single day. However, we can make it work for us. So I'll take you back. I was a fully qualified electrician. I had 7 people working for me, earning a lot of money. That kind of just happened really, and all the construction industry, I was doing a lot of work with that. Had all these 7 people working for me, different contracts all over, and earning a lot of money. Now, to some, I was living the dream. Had an amazing house, had an amazing family. Well, I say had, I've still got an amazing family. Good family, nice cars, flash hotels, flash everything. I'm not saying that to impress you, I'm saying to impress upon you, because where I changed it, it all went downhill. So, there I was, electrician, my own business, loving it. All my mates, envy, my friends, they loved it. So what did I decide to do? I decided to just quit it all, sell everything, get rid of everything, and start afresh, because I wasn't happy. The reasons why I wasn't happy: I didn't feel comfortable, I didn't like what I was doing, I had no enthusiasm in what I was doing, I wasn't happy. It was to me, it was a shocking job, pardon the pun. I hated it. Every day was a chore. And I don't mind admitting, I used to get up in the morning, I used to cry. I had all these responsibilities. I was still a kid in my head. I couldn't deal with the business side of it, I hated it, which I'm proud to admit. So, there I was, electrician, my business. People saying to me, what are you doing? What on earth are you doing? You're crazy, you need to be sectioned. There's something wrong with you. Where's a psychiatrist when you need one? My family, my friends, my girlfriend, everyone around me thought I needed to be sectioned. I said, well, what are you going to do? You don't want to be an electrician anymore. What are you going to do? Because it's pulling all the money in, we need to eat, we need to continue to pay the mortgage, we need to do that. I said, well, I don't want to do it anymore. I want to be a psychologist. So as you can imagine, going from an electrician to a psychologist, people said, you know, you really are crazy. You know, it takes one to know one and all that. And I remember, I was just saying to a girl out earlier, I was saying, one of the things I remember, when my mum come to me, she says, Brett, what are you doing? What are you doing, son? Please talk to me. It's a house, you've got a family, you know, you've built all this up, you cannot just let it go. And she said to me, I think you need, what I want to talk to you about today, she says, is I want to talk to you about therapy. She says, I think we need to discuss therapy. And I was like, okay, you know what, that's a great idea, Mum. I think I need to be a therapist. That's what I want to do. She said, no, I think you actually need therapy. And I was like, no, I know exactly what I want to do. Be a psychologist. I want to change people's lives. I want to help people. I want to change people. Brilliant. Okay, so after hearing for weeks and weeks and weeks of all the negativity, you can't do that. You're not good enough for doing that. You just can't do it. You're an electrician. You're a construction worker. What do you know about people? What do you know about psychology? What do you know about anything? All these little people. You've had this business for years, you've let it go, you ain't going to work in another business, what you do, go back to what you know, blah, 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 blah. So, there I was, bare. I sold my house, I sold my cars, I sold everything I owned, and I had nothing. When I say I had nothing, I literally had nothing. I went from a good paid job to nothing. Nothing coming in on a month, nothing at all. So what do? I went to university. Now I had a grant for university, albeit that. The grant was a good grant. I love university, but I needed experience. Now, one of the things I had to do to get experience, I went to see a career advisor, because I didn't have a clue what to do in that arena. I just wanted to know what to be a psychologist. I wanted to be, is it Tony from Wire in the Blood? That's what I wanted to be. I wanted to be like Cracker. That's what I wanted. So, hey. Where was I? Was I cracking up at this point yet? Yeah, I was cracking up. So there I was. Went to a career advisor and I said to her, like, what do I need to do? And I sat in front of her. I've had all the abuse from all my friends, all my family, all this. You can't do this, you can't do that. What do I do? She said, you need to start at the bottom, Brett. And I was like, yeah, I know that. I'm all good with that, but where's the bottom? She says, you need to literally start at the bottom. Yeah, I'm good with that, but where's the bottom? You need to start wiping backsides. But I want to be a psychologist, I don't want to do that. I don't want to work in nursery. I don't understand. You need to start working in the care industry. Is that still making a right noise, isn't it? So I went to work in the care industry. Now, there is a reason why I'm telling you all this. Now, the care industry for me, I was working with elderly, mentally infirm individuals. Oh, it blew my mind. It was absolutely amazing. I laughed with them, I cried with them, I watched them die. I got a lot of stories from them. I was inspired by them. I inspired them. I made them laugh. I made them cry. It was absolute pleasure. Now, there's some of the things I learned from that. First of all was communication, and I took that. Understanding people's lives is very important as well, and where they've come from, and where they're going, and their plans and their dreams, their aspirations, their future plans. I understood all that from these elderly mentally infirm. So then, where do I go from there? I trained for years in that arena, and then got up to quite high up at the senior level. And then I went into work with abused children. And this was where it really got fascinating for me. And when I say fascinating, I don't mean working with abused children. It was fascinating because it was horrible. However, what I learned from this experience, I watched some bad things, some amazing things, not so good things. But what I did learn was how the brain worked, how to communicate better, how to read body language, how chemicals work in the brain, how to bring a child who wants to kill you to eating pizza on the floor with you. I learned how to defend myself against a knife, but you know, that was alright. Learned all these different things. But most of all, again, I learned the communication. I wanted to take it to the next level. So I wanted to be a therapist within the psychological realm, obviously, and it was called cognitive behaviour therapy. So I trained as a cognitive behaviour therapist, did neuro-linguistic and hypnotherapy. Again, very interesting arena, but again, I learned to communicate. What do I do next? So I went into the prison service to work with offenders in the prison and out of the prison. So I was working with rapists, paedophiles, to killers, to shoplifters, to all walks of life. And again, as you can imagine, communication was so important. And again, when I came out of the prison service, and I still do a lot there, but when I came out of it full time, I went into starting my own company. Now, you imagine being an electrician, starting my own company. In my opinion, it didn't work, even though I was quite successful at it. All the people around telling me I wasn't good enough. Everybody, every day, you just cannot do it. Head started to turn all of a sudden. And again, it was, what are you going back into it for? You can't do it. You couldn't do it in the first place. Well, did I listen to him? No. I was insulted by family, by friends. There's a good reason why I'm telling you all this. And what I want to try and give you today is when it is hard doing what you do every day. It is hard. And, you know, when the bills aren't being paid, it's hard. And I've been through that myself. Now, My company did work, very successful, cognitive behaviour therapy company, and I went into coaching. I became a psychological coach, working with all people from abused children to offenders in prison, to Premier League footballers, to CEOs of major companies, to businesses, to every person you can possibly think of because of my experience I had. Now, there was many occasions where I did doubt myself. Does everybody doubt yourself? Everybody. I don't get anybody says they doubt themselves. Can I do this? Do I want to do this? Should I be doing this? Am I good enough for this? Every day, every single day, you've got to ask yourself the question, I've got this far for a reason. These thoughts come into my head, I'm going to challenge them every day. You've got to challenge these thoughts. Now, right now, as it stands now, from where I was, years and years and years ago, I now own 4 companies, successful growing companies, as it were, in different arenas. Now, I'm a psychologist, but I own an IT company now. How did that happen? How? By building relationships, by communicating, by learning all these things, by not settling. Because every single day was a chore, and again, bills coming through the door. You go to a business meeting, what Rob was saying earlier about networking. I was one of these guys who had the car, I had loads of cards, I had a pocket full of cards, it was great. I'm so busy, I am. I had all the cards in my pocket. And I was trained to communicate. It was my living, that's what I did. To get into somebody's world and bring them into my world. So, one of the things the most important and the most valuable lesson I learned from this journey was, don't listen to everybody else. When I say don't listen to anybody else, don't listen to the naysayers, people who try and put poison in your coffee, not literally, but in your mind. They try and put poison in your mind, telling you you're not good if you can't do it. Yes, you can. Every single one of you can. Second of all, how important communication really is. Now, I knew it was important, but I didn't realise how important. And again, touching on what Rob said earlier, networking, how important really is it? So, I started to train in non-verbal communication. Now, when I say that, we've all learned body language, we've all learned this, different things, we've all learned you cross your arms, you blink, you wave, you do all these things that mean all different things. You shut off if you close your arms, all these different things. But I learned this neuroscience behind it, you just shuffled then. We learned the neuroscience side of it, which is really the technical side of it. It's not too in depth, but you can really use it. Now I can get my PowerPoint up and start to show you what I mean. So these are the type of people we work with. Now I work with them psychologically as well. I work with non-verbal communication. They work with corporate sales executives, sales teams, managers, financial advisors, solicitors, negotiators, which is an interesting one. The negotiators is an interesting one. HR departments, when they're hiring and when they're firing. Police officers, as you can imagine, prison officers, offenders in prison, psychologists, psychiatrists, psychotherapists, therapists and sports professionals and celebrities. People often say to me, what do you work with a celebrity for on body language? Because you'll, further down the PowerPoint, you'll see why. Now, I work from all different, like I said earlier, for all different people. Now, one thing I have learned over my years now, the ability to communicate, you have to have. Because people, what Ron was saying earlier as well, people buy people. We already know this, but people actually do buy people. That's it. You don't buy off somebody if you don't like them. You really don't. Okay. It's one of my favourite quotes of all time. It's not what you don't know, it's what you know without knowing you know it. We already know this stuff. We just don't know we know it. Try and get rid of that one tonight. We already know it. It's innate with us. Every single person has the ability to read body language. Every person has the ability to communicate. It's already there, you just don't know you've got it. If you can know you had it, you can work it better, you can use it better. And one of the things I do is train people in this. Yeah, it's work there. So why is body language so important? As you can see there, physiology is 55%. Some of us have seen this model before. 7% of words, voice and tone is 38%. That means what we're actually saying is not coming out of our mouth. But when we do say it, 7% of it, we really need to make it count massively. And your voice tones, your tonality, having that empathy, having that, how are you today? Talk to me about you. Talk to me about how your business is going. Not talk to me how your business is going. Makes a massive difference, a huge difference. Tell me how you are. Tell me how you are. And I've seen it. I was at a networking event not so long back. And seriously, she must be on helium. Hi, how are you? Cool. Seriously, like Lee Evans. How are you? Straight in my face, straight there. How are you? Here's my card. This is what I do. Brilliant. See you later. Woo! And I was like, wow, okay. Here's my card. Couldn't see me. But again, and not for body language. But again, you can see there. So what we're saying really is it's really important. And I say somebody makes their mind up on you, with you in the first 7 seconds. So what does that actually mean? 7 seconds. So it means that how you dress, how you walk, how you hold yourself, how you hold your hands, how your hands look, how these different things all make a difference unconsciously. So it is really important. Right. Okay. 2 things. Again, this is not too deep, but there's 2 things that reading body language. And you can do this when you go home, you can look these up and you can really study them. Really interesting, fantastic. The neocortex and the limbic system. Now the neocortex, has anybody ever watched, Lie to Me? Put your hand up. Real. Now Lie to Me is based on a guy called Dr. Paul Ekman. And it's Dr. Paul Ekman who I actually trained with for a couple of years. Now in non-verbal communication, micro-expressions, again, very interesting. So he talked to me about these 2 things. Now, working with abused children, I already knew about these anyway, so you can imagine that's why the link was there. Now, the neocortex, we class it as the new brain, the thinking brain, the human brain, the intelligent brain, but it's also the lying brain, the bit that makes all that crap up. It's the bit that's there that, you know, when you see that child, if you're next to a neighbour, and the next door neighbour comes out and says, "You saw my new baby?" And you say, "Isn't he beautiful?" "Yeah, he looks like it's Dad." That's the lying brain when it really looks like a little chimp. But you don't want to say that, do you? You don't want to say it looks like a chimp. You can't just say it, even though it does. But our lying brain makes something up because we want to save face, we don't want that to happen, so we lie, right? And the limbic system, which is the interesting bit, is the mammalian brain. It reacts to the world around us and our thoughts. It's a survival part of the brain. The honest brain is the hardwired brain. Now, when we talk about this, we talk about, I'll mention it in seminar, in talking, in training, I call it the G4S. Any G4S stuff in here first, before saying my next word? No. The one that works. G4S. This is a security system. This is the one that's working 24/7. Doesn't lie, cannot lie. Doesn't know how to lie. It picks up all the non-verbal cues, it picks up all the interaction, it picks up the noises, it picks up when you feel threatened, it picks up when you feel comfortable, it picks up all these different things and relays it back to you. This is the most interesting part, because this bit here is what we're always looking at with body language and communication, always. Because this bit here regulates everything, self-regulates, just self-regulates all the time, 24/7. Now this part of your brain is the one that determines when you're scared, when you are disgusted at something. Do you know when you're disgusted at something and you actually you are disgusted but you really can't show it? This bit actually kicks in first and actually shows on your face that you are disgusted. And the second bit is the neocortex kicks in and then it tells you to lie because you can't show that you're disgusted, which I'll show you in a moment. In body language, there are three things to remember. We call them freeze, flight, and fight. In psychology, it's fight and flight. We've all heard that. But in body language, we call it freeze, flight, and fight. Now, the reason for that. You imagine now, you're sitting at home tonight, 9 o'clock, sitting there watching, what night is it, whatever, football, whatever you're watching, and the bell rings. Your doorbell rings. You look at the other half, he looks at you look at him, oh well, what can we do? Who's at the door? We're not expecting anybody 9 o'clock. But what you first did was you froze. Your fear kicked in, who's that? We're not expecting anybody. If you was to film that, you would see that. You'd see this, deer in the headlights, crazy man in the middle of the gym. You'd see this, you would freeze. Now, in non-verbal communication, when you are networking, people often do this. They often freeze. So what do you do for a living? What do you do? Why are you here? If you can see it, it's there. If you know what you're looking for, you can see it's the freezing. But you have to know how to look for it. Now, knowing this is very important because then you can tailor, you can get them to feel comfortable, you can help them feel comfortable. And the second one, the flight. I didn't have the best pictures in the world, so I'm up here on a bike. Flight mechanism. Now, again, go back to the 9 o'clock tonight when the bell rings. 9 o'clock, bell rings, you looked at each other, you froze. What do I do? The nerves kick in the stomach. And they all do, it's innate with us. It's innate with us, we can't help it. The stomach churns, okay, I better answer the door. Now, if that was an intruder at that door, you would either run or you would challenge that intruder. So we call it flight mechanism. So, give you an example. If you are again in a networking event and you get challenged, you can't run off, you're not going to go out the door, but your body doesn't, your limbic system doesn't know the difference. So what's going to happen is your limbic is going to relay back to you, you need to do something about this. You need to take yourself out of this situation. But you cannot run, but your body does. You just don't know it does. So you do little things like the truffle shuffle or something, as I call it, or your mouth will get dry. And again, public speaking, my mouth's getting dry, it's a natural ability. It's natural with us, it's innate with us, it happens. But what happened there, you will do the truffle shuffle. You'll do this with your legs, you just don't know you're doing it. But if other people could see that, they would know it. Because your body's trying to take you out of it. Your legs will move, your feet will become uncomfortable. Your body will prepare to run. Heat will go to your body temperature, your body will change, heat will go to your legs to prepare you to run. Your muscles will contract, your mouth will get dry. All these different things, these will happen to you, you just don't know they're happening. Now the next part of it is the fight. This is where people get angry. This is where they get angry but they don't show they're getting angry. This is where the disgust comes on the face and the anger flashes on the face. People's clench the fist, people put the legs together. And again, I could go into so much detail around this, but quickly, one of the most obvious things when people are angry with you or they're not comfortable with you, they spread their legs apart. Because it's innate with us to do that. It's innate within us. Just to stand there, should I say, and plant your feet. Because if you do not feel comfortable with an individual, if you do not feel comfortable, that's what will happen. Because it's innate with us to be prepared. You don't know the difference between somebody threatening, your limbic system doesn't know the difference between somebody threatening you with a gun or somebody you feel threatened by somebody, so it prepares you. I was at a networking event not so long back, and I was talking to this girl, and she didn't find out what I did. Really interested, it's brilliant. Tell me what they're doing. And there was a girl and a man sat together, stood together, and the lady was doing this, just talking. She said, what do you see from that? I said, she feels obviously comfortable with him. Why? Well, why does she feel comfortable? Because again, the limbic system, it protects you, would never allow that to happen because you're off balance, you're vulnerable. So if you have a conversation with that lady and you upset her or got on her nerves or say something that was to offend her, she would automatically do this to prepare herself. The limbic system doesn't know the difference. So fight, again, your body prepares you to fight, your stomach turns, blood rushes to your feet, it rushes to your hands, you get a dry mouth, adrenaline kicks in. You're just standing there networking. All this is going on, this is happening. It's going on in the other person as well. Really important. Freeze, flight and fight. One of the biggest things and the best things I've ever learned is getting somebody's baseline. Their natural state, who they actually are. Because when you walk into networking events, you are very much, yes, this is who I am, this is what I do, blah, 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 blah. Is that somebody's baseline? No, it's not. It's not your baseline. That's who you want to be, portrayed as. Now, trying to get somebody's baseline when they're doing that, it's very easy. Simple. You make them feel comfortable. And when I say baseline, It's everything about that person. Now I'll give you an example. When I was in the prison service, when I was working in the prison service, we was trained to get in baselines because, as you can imagine, an offender was sat there with his feet on the desk, showing contempt, flashing contempt on his face. I'm arrogant, I'm better than you. You know what, you're here. I've killed people. Check me out. Is that his baseline? No, not at all. So how we got his baseline was to make him feel comfortable. Psychologically comfortable. Psychological comfort, that's where I'm always looking to get somebody. So they feel comfortable with me. So, and again, from what Rob was saying earlier, it's touching that, it's getting into somebody's world. What do you do? Talk to me about your job, how's your business? They're going on, they're starting to feel comfortable with you. While I'm doing that, I'm also eliciting information from them, exactly that I know what they do, what they're doing, where their plans are. But I'm also, and again, it takes a little bit of learning to do this, but I'm also finding out what learning styles they are, where they're looking, if they talk in pictures, if they talk in kinesthetically, if they talk auditory, when I talk auditory, if they're talking with the hands, all these different things. And then I can kick in the psychology side of what I do. And again, yeah, it's more than an hour's speech, but it's very useful to know and look up. Now, the other flip side of psychological comfort is the discomfort. Now, discomfort is an interesting one because a lot of people who network are not very comfortable with it. They're really not. I say a lot of people. Fair few are not comfortable with it, where they're quite scared of doing it, they don't want to do it, they don't want to work in the room, keep yourself in a little comfort zone. Now, if I'm with a client, training them in this, or I'm with network, if I can see discomfort in a person, I will always bring them back. Always, because they're uncomfortable. They're uncomfortable being, I don't want to intimidate or threaten anybody, but I try and get them to feel very comfortable. As soon as you do, that's when you can start to do the business, you can get the cards, you can build that relationship. And like I was saying earlier, the business that I have now, people often say to me, oh, you're really lucky. You're really lucky having those businesses. It's really good, you work Premier League football, so I love that job, it's amazing. You're so lucky. Lucky has nothing to do with it. It's building these relationships here, and then this happens. Now, somebody asked me once, how do you work with a Premier League footballer? And I was like, okay, I actually don't know. Come off so-and-so that, come off so-and-so that, come off. And I traced it back, and it came back to a computer design company. At the time, this was like years ago as well, who I was networking with in a little networking event, and he couldn't do anything for me. The way I was saying, he couldn't at all. It wasn't about that, it's what I could do for him. I got him some work, I built a great relationship with him, and how I did that was through body language and communication. How I did that was through my tonality, because he liked me. We had that conversation, and it was, talk to me about what you do. Now I'm interested about, talk to me what you do. Tell me about what he did the last couple of minutes, now talk to me about what you do. Filled him in a little bit. And again, that wasn't maybe purposely, I did that, but I did do that. And he walked away and said, look, me and you need a coffee, go out for a chat, and that's it. Next day, he called me, booking up for a coffee. That led on to one thing, that led on to another thing. Before you know it, I'm in a major football team, working with Premier League football player, purely because of that. Because then he recommended me through this, if you call it system, through all that, that's where I ended up. All because I could see discomfort or comfort. Now, discomfort. These are what Dr. Paul Ekman found in the 7 basic emotions: anger, fear, happiness, contempt, surprise, sadness, and disgust. And again, they're all very interesting. These are also micro-expressions. Now again, I haven't got long enough to go through micro-expression clips, which is really interesting, but there's a lot of apps you can download and look at these types of things. Just type in micro-expression apps, and there's a list of them that comes up, which you can quickly look, and it flashes a micro-expression, and then you have to train to do it. And over a period of time, you become better at it. So if somebody's talking to you, and then they do get a little bit, you can bring them back because you know what you just said has offended them. You wouldn't know usually. You really wouldn't. It can be a hindrance as well, because knowing what people are actually thinking of you, or thinking of what you're doing, can be a problem as well. But you learn to deal with it and you get better at it. Now, Again, anger. We all get angry. We all get angry, but we hide it. We bluff it. We get angry with things all the time. We just hide it. Fear. We all get fearful. We all get scared. But again, we hide it. So imagine if you could see it. And again, this is not just even business-wise. This is in your family. Imagine being my 2 girls at home, living with me. Happiness. Happiness is one of the easiest ones to spot because it's there to be seen for everyone. But true happiness and a true smile. People assume that just because you smile, you're happy. It can be false smiles as well. There's a way of detecting whether it's a real smile or a false smile. Now, surprise. Surprise, again, an interesting one. Because surprise, people often say to me, oh, I'm surprised, oh, this is amazing, this is brilliant, oh, I'm so happy for this, this is brilliant, I'm so surprised that you've just done that. It's not genuine surprise. Genuine surprise lasts for no more than a second. That's genuine surprise. The rest is just made up for your benefit. Sadness. Sadness, again, is one of the easiest ones to spot because it works with the mouth and the eyes. You can see the face. The mouth drops, the eyes drop. And you can see it's there for all to see. But again, if you can see this in people, you can help people. You can train people in this. You can understand people better. You can, all training companies, you can understand therapeutically, psychologically, business-wise. By looking at this and by knowing that, you can help that person better and make it a better relationship. Disgust. Disgust is an interesting one. For disgust, because again, if it's something you hate, your nose comes up, you're like, sprouts, hate it, Marmite. Somebody you don't like, you do it, you just don't know, you do it. We all do it, we all go. If you can see that in somebody who's trying to hide it, what you see is this. The nose wrinkles at the top of the mouth. Top of the mouth. Top of the nose edge wrinkles a little bit. But you can see it. If you can know that in somebody, how powerful could that be? This is anger. Doesn't matter if you're an ape. David Cameron, it's not my son, an angry boy. It's the same. An ape, a squirrel, they're all the same. Because it's innate with us. It's our animal instinct. The President of the United States, what's his name? Brown, is it? And whether you're somebody from Papua New Guinea, sadness is there to see. Now it's interesting one, the reason why I put this one up here, do we think that is genuine sadness in the middle? No?
I think it's a bit concern.
Concern? Interesting one. Genuine sadness on the end, that so much concern. It's concern for himself.
Yes, yeah.
It's not genuine sadness at all. It is concern for himself as well, isn't it? There's a bit of contempt in there as well. And I think that's when he had that with Rihanna or whatever. This one here, is that genuine sadness on the end? Yeah. But again, you have to take into consideration her age.
Features.
Yeah.
No, I don't mean that in an unkind way.
Features, it's true. Because people could get that wrong purely because of her features. Mostly put, apparently. But yeah, sadness. This is a good one. Contempt. If you see this in your relationship, the relationship's over. I see it time and time and time again. You see this in a relationship, it's done. Because contempt is I'm better than you. And I see this in the prison quite a lot. Is that I'm great. I know I'll break it. I see it in prison quite a lot. I apologise. Stick it in my pocket. So I see it in prison. I see it in some people in football. I don't need to see you. I earn £300,000 a week. What can you do for me? How good are you? Come on, tell me. How good are you? Do you know who I am? The contempt there. But your offers is sitting in front of me because you need to. You've been told to. So let's work together. But you see the contempt, a flash of contempt on the face. Yeah, I'm better than you. Check there. I've got an area, alright? £300,000 a week. Check it out. You see, and again in prison. Do you know who I've killed? Do you know how many people I've killed? Do you know I've been stabbed 7 times? Check me out. Rapists. Mad for contempt. You can see it all over the face. Not all. There are some that can be rehabilitated, but not many, in my opinion. Because you can see contempt. Simon Cowell, contempt. He's happy with himself, check me out. Multi-millionaire. Got all these people after me on, check me out. Bush. Doesn't mean that he has a lot of contempt, but on this occasion he actually did. Now again, politicians training this quite a lot. Politicians, I know a few people who are the same as what I do, train politicians, not an area that I like to get into, but they train politicians on how to hold their hands. What's called steepling. You ever heard of steepling? Steepling is, again, very interesting. You can control a room by steepling. I think it's sometimes arrogant. However, in business meetings and in CEOs that I work with, they do this a hell of a lot. They do it a lot. Now, somebody who steeples up is very confident. Somebody who steeples down is trying to look as though they're confident and actually not. It's unconscious. It's the way it is. Now, people always look at faces when they're reading non-verbals because it's the most obvious, and from an early age we're taught to look at faces. Always look at feet, because feet you was never taught to lie with. Feet make us look. Feet you can see true and comfortable. So they're on the top of the table, I'll give you all this. Look under the table. Always look under the table, because they're telling you want to get away from me, or you want to get close to me, all these different things. But contempt is a scary one. Again, which one's this one? Surprise. Surprise. Love this one. Love the little monkey on the end. This one, Kim Kardashian, not that I know her name or anything. Kim Kardashian, is that a genuine surprise? But it's an interesting one because she's had Botox. But somebody who knew that and knew a baseline, which, a baseline is that, before she had Botox, her forehead did move, but now it doesn't. Now, is that genuine surprise? Yes, it probably is. However, putting your hand up to your mouth, and wow, it's not genuine surprise. It's false, it's for the camera. This one here is genuine surprise. The monkey, it just looks like surprise to be fair. But it is innate with us, you can see it on monkeys' faces. Again, this one's fear. This is an interesting one. You got the fear in the eyes there. You got the monkey there, fear. But this one, Bill Clinton, brilliant to study this guy. He has been trained in non-verbals for years and tonality. Now the speech where he had, I did not have sex relations with that woman. It's like that accent. That statement there, he was trained in. However, non-verbal specialist and communication specialist ripped him apart because his tonality distanced himself from that woman, from Monica Lewinsky. He distanced himself because of that. Again, this is going to a different area, but that is called distance in language. So if somebody has an affair, 9 times out of 10 I'll say to their partner now, oh, that woman, I'll distance them, or even do it now, my arm, I'll distance that situation. Remember that situation we went through? That ex-girlfriend, that ex-husband, you distance yourself, and there's a lot of things around tonality and obviously verbals through that as well. Now, these guys here, presidents, politicians, are trained very heavily in it. Now, can I have a volunteer actually? Marilyn? You knew that was coming? Yeah, you just stand up. It's alright. One of the things what politicians are always trained in, I like to show this one. I think it was, I think Karen had it last time, didn't you, Karen? Yes. Politicians are always trained in how to walk up to somebody. You can stand there if you can. You know, stand on the stage actually, I think you'll probably do that. Yeah, can you get on there? Don't you get on? Politicians, right, you just stand there, that'd be great. Politicians are trained to even walk up to somebody, and the direction they walk up to makes a massive difference. Now, for argument's sake, President Bush at the time walked up to the Russian president, walked in at an angle like this. The press were there. In fact, I'll do it a different way. The press, staying with the press, he walked in so he could turn. You stay there, and he did that. Even though she's taller. who looks the most professional here? Who holds the, who's the daddy here? That's what he's basically saying. me, because it's what's called the upper hand. I have the upper hand there. I'm the most confident, I'm the most powerful, and it doesn't just happen, they're trained. Now they stay there for a minute. Now, Marilyn there's like, help me.
What are you going to say to me next year? What are you going to make me do next
Exactly.
year?
Now the American people are sitting there going, our president's great, he's amazing, he's so powerful, so strong, and loving it. Now what he does then, taps him on the back. He goes, he's trying to do it, thank you, Marilyn. But they're trying to do it, and they're all good at it. Now again, in networking communication, learn more about that. Learn it, if you know, people walk up to me in networking and go, oh, shake the hell out of my hand. They crush me. I'm like, I make a bit of a joke about it, but I'm like, oh, sorry, you must have small hands. No, you just insulted me there. So, next one. I'm not a fan of Justin Bieber, by the way. Draw this picture. Which one's this one? Disgust. You can see it on his face. Look down his you can see it there. And again, Nicki Minaj here. Nicki Minaj here. You can see she's trying to get there. But again, what's holding her back? The Botox. Yeah. Her face is not moving. But really, her eyes are telling me that she's disgust. But again, it takes a little bit of training, but you can do it. Happiness. Genuine happiness is always from the eyes, never the mouth. Genuine happy eyes, if you that say, oh, he's got happy eyes. That's what you want to see, not happy mouth. You got that monkey. And the baby. Happiness is the easy one. It doesn't matter who you are, whether you're an angry man, a squirrel, Eileen Warnock, serial killer, angry child, ape, angry boy, bear, or President of the United States. He's there to be seen in every single one of our faces, so he's innate with us. As you can see there. What would you say that was?
Shame.
It is shame. It is shame.
It shows I've been caught.
It does exactly what it shows. It's an interesting one because people watch The Apprentice. There was a part of The Apprentice which I'd love to have got there, but I can't get it on. Which where Alan Sugar was giving there's 3 lads, I think it was the last one, giving 3 lads the what for, and what they all did at the same time, all together, is lift their right arm. We'll call it slow, we'll make it slower for you. But what they actually did, they lift their arm slow, all at the same time, and went. One went did that, one went like that, and one went like that. What does that actually mean? Because when you slow it down, what you actually see is they get to there, and that's the limbic system. The limbic system is saying, look, you've been caught out here, you've got to hide your head in shame. But they can't do that, can they? It just looks bad. So what they do is they come up there, they get to there, and then the neocortex kicks in the lion brain and says, quick, bluff this quick. So they go, ooh. But all 3 of them at the same time did it at the same time. Now, the girl, the cake maker, wherever she did the cupcakes girl here, looked over, and all you could see, I'll do it from this angle, all you could see was this. Slow it down, what you can actually see was this. The contempt. She knew that they just messed up, and it made her look good. Just as an example, there are many more. High power poses. Actually, I get picked up on this quite a lot. High power poses in the office. See this a lot. Now you see the boss walk in the door, then what do they do? Nearly fall off the chair. Ooh. But again, shows arrogance as well, and I am terrible in the office because that's just the way I relax. However, that's my baseline. That's who I am, that's who I baseline, that's how I relax. But if you're not relaxing and you all of a sudden do this, that's different then. Like, you've heard of low power poses. Vulnerable, scared. Now, statistically proven that if you are with somebody who has a high power pose, it releases a chemical in their brain to make them feel more powerful. Fact. And it also releases a chemical in your brain to make you feel the least powerful. So having a high power pose does actually work. You heard the expression, fake it till you make it? When you walk in there, yes, I am all these things. When I was saying about the networking, I am this, I am that, I am that. the other person will feel that steeply, will scare the living daylights out of people. Because they'll be like, oh, yeah, it can be taken as arrogance, however, it can be these chemicals. And again, just to show you here, 1880 with us, monkeys are doing exactly the same, humans doing exactly the same. And again, that's not just there for the sake of it. Filmmakers knew full well that somebody standing there would be classed as powerful. All of them. That power. Check me out. And I see this quite a lot. Again, in the prison service and in corporate. I don't often see this though. Which is an odd one. I don't. It's usually the men with it's the opposite side, even though what Mark was saying earlier, women are better networkers. You know why they're better networkers? Because women are better at reading body language and non-verbals and all the different things at the same time. So women can have a conversation and listen to what you're saying, or listen to what's going on out there, or thinking what you're going to cook tonight, or thinking EastEnders is on tonight, what happened with Peace of Marlow, what happens all at the same time. Men can't. They really can't. They are focusing on reading what you're saying and they're like, yeah. But what happens with a woman there, because they're doing all these different things and they're easier to talk to, they build the relationships faster. But like Mark was, Rob, we'll call him Mark then, what Rob was saying earlier, that men do kind of nail it at the end and get the deal done because they've not built the relationship. But as I say, building that relationship is so important. As you can see this here, a steeple, their power pose. I love seeing this. I love seeing it in corporate. I actually went to a company last year and I did a seminar and there was a CEO sat there and he said, it's all interesting what you're saying, prove it. Love that. So I went about the front and I put him through his paces. When I say put him through his paces, I elicited emotions from him to prove to everybody. And it was, you're out now, you're scared, aren't you, because you know I'm going to intimidate you. Now, he was like, no, not at all. I'm used to situations like this. Okay, I said, but now what's happened just your left shoulder's just raised up. That means that you wasn't just confident of what you just said, and now you're getting arsey, your hands are clenching, and you're sweating, and you're getting a dry mouth, and your legs are coming together because you're preparing to run. And he just stood up and went, all right, I get the point, let's sit back down. So this stuff actually does work. Because his body went into fear mode, and he shut down on him. It was somebody like this. He took note then, and listened, and I've worked with the company ever since. However, he's changed his tune. He scared people in the office. He intimidated people. It's not this man actually, but this guy. Intimidated. That's not a way to run a business at all. Many people with you, not against you. This is the celebrity thing I was on about. People, I get paid to train celebrities in how to walk. I say really mad, doesn't it? How to hold themselves. How to look. Sorry. And Paris Hilton, as she'd done them crimes, she walked down and she was taught to walk down. Sorry, I have made a mistake and I'm not paid for everything I've done. I'm really sorry. She was trained to do it. As soon as she got in the car, because this was about a split second until she got into the car, look at her face, she started to smile. She said it was funny. The truth of the matter is she wasn't sorry. She didn't care less. She got into the car and you could see it, but they're trying to do it. Now, one of the interesting things I do, I'll just finish off now, one of the interesting things I do is deception detection. Because obviously, reading non-verbal communication and micro-expressions, deception detection is a really interesting area, and people do try and hire me to read for this. In my early days, people wanted me to train them in poker, which I can't do, obviously, for ethical reasons. And again, in the prison service, with the police, with courtroom. Now, it can be ripped apart in courtroom, this. However, it helps the solicitor or the lawyer or whoever, the police go down the right route. So, deception detection, there's a lot of myths about deception detection. Polygraph, how accurate is a polygraph? We all watched Jeremy Kyle. How accurate is it? How accurate do you think it is? Because on the bottom of Jeremy Kyle, it says 99.9% accurate. Would we say that was pretty accurate? Pretty accurate, yeah? The polygraph is 100% accurate, not 99.9%. It's 100% accurate. However, it has to be activated and used by a human. Now, the human doing it is only trained to read the polygraph and ask a standard set of questions. So when you go on Jeremy Kyle, or you see Jeremy Kyle on his show, one of the shows, and you see somebody saying, oh, you're a liar, you've done this, you've done that, always think to yourself, because you sit on a polygraph, it's reading for a few things. It's reading for your temperature, moisture, and your heart rate. So if I say to you, have you had an affair? Silly question. Have you had an affair? I haven't this time. You're not going to say that, but no, I haven't. But your polygraph will be spiking. But the truth of the matter is, I may have had one years ago, your polygraph will be shooting all over the place, therefore they'll think you're lying now. It's all about the questioning. So what it does, it actually brings the polygraph to no better than flipping a coin, because it's human error. However, once you've trained to be a deception detection expert, or you learn about that, you become 70% better at it. And as I say, women are better at it than men, because they can read more. The other side, what they used to do years ago is called spoon and fire. They used to set fire to a spoon, make it really lava hot, and come near you and say, no, lie to me. They used to put them under that much pressure, they used to tell the truth. That was one of the ways of doing it. These are the futures of deception detection. Brain fingerprinting. Brain fingerprinting is a device that puts in your head, which you can actually read for deception. Different parts of the brain light up. Now, quick example, if you lie, you have to lie and then lie again. Different parts of your brain are activated. More parts of your brain are activated to, if you like, make something else up. When you're telling the truth, it's just one part of your brain lights up. But when you lie, there's three. This can pick it up. Now, there's a reason why people lie, which I ain't going to go into today. The other one is fMRI, functioning magnetic resonance imaging. Now, this is an interesting one because I used to work with this with abused children, because we can see the brain damage and the patterns in the brain. And again, that's another way of deception detection. And another one is neuro-linguistic programming, NLP. Now, NLP, again, interesting too. We probably, a lot of us have heard about it. I'm an NLP master practitioner and neuro-linguistic psychotherapist. Now, the interesting bit with this is it actually does take it to the next level. Now, take it to the next level is you need to know, because once you now start to know all this stuff, start to become aware of it, reading more into it, you can actually be a better communicator. Now, again, don't know what I've said a lot, it's quite hard to get your head around, it really is, but I always advise you to go away, look up this stuff, read into it, read into what Rob was saying, read into the communication and networking, read into how do you see yourself in the mirror, how do I actually communicate, how do I come across, what am I wearing, how am I looking at this my shit, all these different things, and then practice and practice, because you become more confident. I train women in how to be more confident, I train footballers how to be more confident. The reason why I do that, they have to feel more confident, because when you do, that's when you can go out and work your magic. Every single one, you work your magic. So thank you, it's been a pleasure. I'm sorry there's a few things with the PowerPoint, but thank you anyway, it's been a pleasure.